everyone. I'm back to another episode of Mulheres from the podcast Irlanda Talk Show. I will apologize for my voice. It's a little bit funny. I've just been fighting a cold, but I'm great now. And before we start, I will ask you guys to subscribe if you're new on the channel and to give a like on this video so it will go to more people. Today's theme is very special. We're talking about Pink October, which is the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. It's important to see that in Ireland, the statistics shows that 1 in 9 women will develop breast cancer in their lifetime. That's huge. And to talk to me about this, we brought our special guest, Olivia Carpenter.
Thank you.
Welcome, Olivia.
Where are the claps?
Where are the claps? Yay! Welcome, Olivia. Olivia, introduce yourself to our public.
Thank you so much for having me in this morning. I'm delighted to meet you guys. I am Olivia Carpenter and I am a patient ambassador at Breast Cancer Ireland the last 11 years. I had breast cancer myself back in 2011 at the lovely age of 34. And then a few years ago, I took a role in Breast Cancer Ireland as an outreach coordinator, where I went around to schools and businesses up and down the country, giving talks on our breast health and awareness program. I have since I stopped doing that there about a year or two ago, but I'm still very passionate about teaching women and men about the importance of good breast health, knowing the 8 signs and symptoms. And it's really important that you download our Breast Aware app, but I will talk about that shortly.
Yeah, very good, very good. And so let's start talking, what is the Breast Cancer Ireland? What do they do? What's the work? Why should people go to their website? It's very important. We're going to write here, it's breastcancerireland.com. So why is it important for people to visit that website?
Okay, so Breast Cancer Ireland, they're an amazing charity. They rely totally on the generosity of the public. Their aim and their mandate is to transform breast cancer from often being a fatal disease. We've 690 deaths annually into a treatable illness long term. So, we are very passionate about teaching men and women, like I said, the importance about the 8 signs and symptoms of breast cancer, and knowing how to perform a self-breast examination. We cannot drive that home enough. As I said, we have, there's an education program that Breast Cancer Ireland run, and there's amazing women that are out on the road going into companies and TY students alike and teaching them about the importance of good breast health and the 8 signs and symptoms of breast cancer. It's an amazing charity, like I said. And it's really important for women to know that Breast Cancer Ireland are there, to avail of the services and to learn the 8 signs and symptoms of breast cancer.
So if people would like to have a visit, let's say I'm in my company, I think it's important there are a lot of women there and men, because we don't talk about this, but it's not common. But men can also develop breast cancer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if in my company, I would like to have the visits, to have this demonstration, to have this talk, we can just go on the website and then request. So there you go, guys. Yeah, that's important.
There's Samantha McGregor in Breast Cancer Ireland and Adele. Adele is their PA. You could reach Adele in Breast Cancer Ireland, and then she liaises with the coordinators, and then you can get somebody out to your company. Yeah,
and I would like to thank both Samantha and Adele for facilitating this episode today. It's very important, as I said before, because a lot of people, we know that breast cancer is there, but we don't think it could be here.
Of course.
We don't.
We have this mindset of it's never going to be me. It's always going to be somebody else. Yeah. We do have that mindset. I mean, I was the same.
And if you think about 1 in 9, that's so close.
Absolutely.
You have more than 9 friends, surely.
Of course, yeah.
So, oh my goodness, it's really big.
Yeah.
So let's see, when someone suspect that something is happening, if I notice something, or how can I notice something? It's the first, on the website, people can go through and then go check what's the steps they can do the self-examination. But once they realize, I think that's something funny, I haven't noticed this before, what do they do?
Okay. Well, first of all, to know your 8 signs and symptoms, okay? I know I'm going to keep driving that home on this podcast, all right?
Let's do
it. I will say we have a breast aware app, okay? And not many women or men know that there's 8 signs and symptoms of breast cancer. I was one of those women. I used to just think it was a lump. That was as far as it went with me. So I would say we have a breast aware app. It is free. It is available to download on your iTunes and your Android. If you've never done a breast check before,
so let's spread that app,
download
guys.
the app. You can set it up where it sets a discreet monthly reminder to check yourselves, and it shows you how to perform a self-breast examination. So there's a video on it that will talk you through, you know, the 8 signs and symptoms and how to go through it. So I would recommend, guys, that you do download the Breast Aware app. As I said, it's free. And if you've got younger girls in the house as well, you know, our hormones are changing all the time. Get the girls, you know, show them how to get breast aware, because, you know, as women, we're not breast aware. There's a lot of women out there that are not breast aware. And I cannot drive that home enough. Our Breast Aware app is where you will see how to perform a self-breast examination and your 8 signs and symptoms.
And it's so easy.
Absolutely.
So people really should be doing this all the time, because things can change from, you know, a week to another. So please do check constantly.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So then they, if someone is aware, the first thing they would need, once they download the app and then they do the self check, and they notice something. Yeah. So they go to the GP.
Your first protocol is to your GP. And like I said at the start, if you have a good rapport with your GP and you find that there's something abnormal on your breast, I mean, we all, you know, some women have lumpy breasts, some women have inverted nipples. That could be their normal. But like I keep trying to say, is any abnormality that comes on the breast, like there's 8 signs and symptoms. And, you know, when you go to your GP, they will refer you, hopefully, to the hospital where they will do a check.
This check is the mammography?
A mammogram.
Mammogram.
Yes. Yeah.
In Brazil, it's interesting to see that for Brazilian Latin women, in Brazil, it's normal that we would be asked by a gynecologist to do once a year, maybe, to do a ultrasound and a mammogram. Let's say if you're over, especially if you're over 40, they will ask just as a checkup. And in here, I would say you really need to have one of the signs for them to refer you to the hospital. Yes,
absolutely. In my case, I had a lump when I found my lump. So I went to my GP, her Dr. Nikki Boyle in Glenageary. She's an amazing GP. I tell everybody about her. She's my sanity. And she sent me to Vincent's Hospital where I was checked. Now, when I was checked as well, like I said to you at the start, Luz, you know, I was told that it was a benign tumour by a doctor. And then when he went out to get his colleague, the second doctor came in and agreed with him that it was a benign tumour. And I was only just gone 34 at the time. I wasn't breast aware and I didn't know my 8 signs and symptoms. So I was happy enough with that. And I know they were going to bring me back. Of course I do. They had asked me the questions like, had it changed? You know, how long was it there? Was it sore? I got those kind of questions. And like I said, I'm a mom of 3 kids and I had 3 in 4 years. So the last thing on my mind was checking my breasts.
I know.
So I wasn't breast aware, but as you know, I'm very lucky because my sister knew someone in Vincent's, and when that GP came down, he insisted straight away that I get a biopsy. You know, so I mean, I believe that I'm alive because my sister knew somebody, and not everybody does, and I do get that.
Especially as migrant, you know, we often don't have that person that would know a doctor specifically.
Of course.
That could do that for you. So, Olivia, for those who don't know yet, Olivia's story is on the Breast Cancer Ireland website. So you can read through all the details. It's fantastic testimonial. And they have other women's testimonial there as well. So on that testimonial, I'm going to read here because I thought it was so powerful. And Olivia said, do not be afraid to ask for a second opinion and keep asking until you are satisfied with the outcome. And I thought this is really, really empowering because I feel that as migrants, we feel we don't have that right to push back, you know, we don't have that right to keep asking, to keep pushing the doctors when we are not satisfied with the outcome. We just go like frustrated.
Of course.
We go home and then we're like, oh, you know. So I think this is really powerful for women. Do that, because that can change your life.
Absolutely. Ask the questions. Keep on asking until you become a pain in the backside, as I say. I know you're...
It doesn't matter. He's not your friend. He's not...
Absolutely. His job is to listen and get you checked. And that, you know, it's really, really important, ladies. I mean, you know, I understand there's some women out there that probably don't have the confidence to, you know, push with a GP. Excuse me. But I would suggest, look, you know, your breast health is your wealth. And, you know, if you find any abnormality, I cannot emphasize that enough, go and get it checked out. If you feel that you're being fobbed off by a GP, you know, go get a second opinion. There's plenty of them out there that will listen to you. So, you know, go with your gut feeling. You know, I didn't, because I wasn't breast aware. I was very ignorant. I genuinely thought that breast cancer was never going to knock on my door at 34. Because my mom didn't have it, my sister didn't have it. You know, it wasn't. You know, I didn't inherit it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
it's
just
not
feel
something
like
you'll be. Yeah,
it was just bad luck that I got it. But I do feel, you know, that it's vital that women start to speak up, because we're great at getting our tracksuit on and hitting the gym and looking after the outside. But let's start looking after the inside.
Exactly,
you know?
and it's
really
your life.
important.
It's really your life, and then we have to face that. False diagnosis, like the people would miss a diagnosis. It's a fact, and it's not, you know, because you're bad mouthing some X or Z hospital or people. No, it happens. We know it happens. Yeah, so absolutely. You don't want that to happen to you. You don't want to be on that statistic.
No, definitely not.
You can't avoid.
No,
being on the statistic of breast cancer, but you can avoid being on the false or on the missed diagnosis. So please, people, keep pushing back and don't be afraid. And actually, when you go to the GP, if they don't, if the person's not confident, because I'd say at that point people should be nervous if they are breast aware, and we hope you are.
Of course,
especially after
downloading that app, guys.
Exactly, download the app, and then you'll be aware. And if you're not confident enough with your English, you can request the GP to ask on the referral that you have a translator at the hospital.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Samantha was telling us this. Or Adele, one of the other. I think it was Adele. Sorry, it was Adele. And it was suggesting that. So you talk to your GP, and then you say, look, I would like a translator there, because it can be overwhelming.
Absolutely. You're already going in feeling a certain way, and then you're feeling, if your English isn't, you feel your English isn't great, it's very important.
Yeah, and ask a friend to go with you. Absolutely. If you don't feel that's something that you can handle yourself.
Yeah.
And in your own experience, talking about not knowing how to handle, what do you tell people when they get the diagnosis, when they do get a diagnosis of the breast cancer? I can only possibly imagine, or maybe not, how devastating can it be. But what do you say to people that would get that diagnosis?
Okay, that's a good question. Well, with me, I mean, everybody just wants to help, and I think it's really, really important, because my husband was absolutely amazing. He is my rock. But, it's really important that you take the help from the outside as well, because, Gavin also needed a break, that kind of way, with 3 small kids under 11. I mean, if you've got pals that want to help, let them help. Don't push them away. There'll be days where you don't want to get out of the bed. There'll be days where you're no more in the mood of cooking, and it's really important. Like, I had loads of girlfriends that were always bringing me over, like, lasagnas, or, I was lasagnaed out.
Keep bringing, guys.
Casseroles or whatever. And it was
these are the best friends who bring you food. Best friends.
It was great. It really was. So I would say, gather your girlfriends together, let them help, There's nothing anybody can say. They can't fix you. You just have to go through the process for the year or however long your treatment is. But I always say, take the help from your girlfriends and family, because it's really, really important. And you do need the break, especially if you're married and you've got kids. You do need the break.
Yeah, I can imagine. And do you know if there is any, the hospital, I suppose, might have any mental health help? Let's say that there will be that this person can go through, that you can request at the hospital too, because I imagine even for people that are living away from home, to having to go through this.
Yeah, no, there are lots of places where people can go. Like, you know, I know the Irish Cancer Society have there's a phone number there that you can ring, and a nurse will answer the phone, and they can listen and talk you through your treatment and, you know, what to expect, that sort of thing. I know with me, when I finished my treatment, I felt alone. I felt very alone. Now I'm going back to 2011, 2012. Touch wood. Yeah. But yeah, I remember leaving the hospital. I remember thinking, is this it? You know, is this, like, what am I going to do now? But I actually put myself into counselling. I found a gorgeous girl, and I go to her, and I still go to her, and I'm nearly 12 years out now. Wow. And I still go, but I always say, you know, try and find, you know, there are people out there now. There's lots of people that can help. Yeah. Like I said, different cancer societies, and, you know, a good counsellor is always good. I mean, it really, really helped me, you know.
Yeah, and then I would say talking to someone that have gone through the same, because they understand, and there are groups. I know that there
absolutely.
Facebook, there was another episode that we had in Portuguese about cancer, having cancer in Ireland. And one of the girls, so you can go through our videos there, you will find with Lou, and you will see that there are groups as well, even in Portuguese, that you can discuss people that have gone through cancer, and then you can find support, you can find love in there.
And we do that in Breast Cancer Ireland as well. Like, there's a big group of us that have all gone through breast cancer, and, you know, I'm actually chatting to a lady at the moment who's going through it, and, you know, it's great because nobody understands it unless you've gone through it. Do you know, that kind of way? So it's really, you know, we do have a great family network in Breast Cancer Ireland, and we're here for any woman that has gone through breast cancer. I mean, I'm here this morning, and I gladly talk to anyone out there who wants to have a conversation about their diagnosis, or, you know, they just need a listening ear. I'm 100% here if they want to do that. Yeah.
Oh, that's really great. I'm sure that maybe that's why they have this program for people, because it's different when you hear from someone that have never gone through this experience, and then from someone that have gone through, because you do understand what person is going through and all the ins and outs of the treatment, and
it's frightening. It's not. It's, you know, it is frightening, and it's good to have someone who understands, you know.
Yeah. And then for the treatment here in Ireland, once you get that diagnosis, do you have support in the same hospital, or you go to different hospitals?
No, it's, well, when I was going through it, it was very much Vincent's hospital, Vincent's private hospital, and they were all amazing, absolutely amazing staff. And then I had radiation up in the Beacon Hospital, but again, still liaising back with Vincent's hospital. So I had a great team around me in Vincent's, so I did.
Yeah, because I think if you know the environment where you have to go through and all that kind of thing, it should be more.
I mean, it became like home for me being in Vincent's for the year. You know, I'd literally go, oh, I'm back again. You know, when I was going in for my treatment. I know that sounds
because I imagine if you have to go to tell you just every time you meet someone new, and then you have to go through all the things, it's tiring.
Unfortunately, I know that does happen. But with me, I was very fortunate that I just had my one team was in Vincent's hospital.
Oh, that's fantastic. And then, well, so first thing for people that are watching us and then they are new in Ireland, you get the GP. The GP is the general practitioner, so is the, let's say, a family doctor, as in Brazil. Yeah. It's clínico geral, as we say, the generalist.
It sounds much nicer.
Yeah, because in Brazil, normally people will go to the hospital straight away. or you can book a specialist. You have a booklet. If you have a health insurance, you have a booklet, and then you go like, oh, okay, I'd like to go to this, and then you go if you want to go to a consultant or any doctor, you just book yourself. And in Ireland, it's different. You have to go through this doctor. So find yourself a GP. Find yourself a nice GP. I know sometimes it's hard because some of the nice ones wouldn't take new patients.
I know. I have heard the rumor.
Yes,
that is very difficult.
It is. It can be, but keep trying.
Persevere.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, these are the little bumps that we have to go through in our lives, especially when you're life abroad.
Yes.
But you do have to keep trying. And if this GP doesn't listen to you, try to go to a different one.
Absolutely.
Don't give up. Exactly. Because as we said before, and we keep on saying this because it's really important, it's your life. So you do have to push, and you do have to try to find someone that you can trust.
Absolutely. You good rapport with. Absolutely. And we'll listen and we'll understand, and absolutely you do. Yeah, definitely. As I keep saying, guys, breast health is your wealth.
Yeah, breast.
That's on my LinkedIn. Breast health is your wealth.
It's your wealth. That's really nice. Actually.
So please download that Breast Aware app.
See, we're saying again, download the app and do the self-check.
Yeah, definitely.
And then going to your experience, what we can tell people for what you learned, apart from downloading the app?
No, of course, yeah. What I learned after going through my treatment, is that what you mean? I learned that I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. I learned, that I've got great family around me. I always knew I did, but really when you're pushed to something like that, but I don't mean to bring it up, but my dad was diagnosed with stomach cancer 2 months before I was diagnosed with breast cancer. So my family was very tight, trying to get both of us through the treatments of cancer. So yeah, I learned that I had strength inside me that I never thought I had. And I carry that strength, and I still have it.
Oh, you do. Let's put that part. I love this effect.
That's very cool. Can I bring that home? Yeah. Someone did the dishes. Yay!
Yay!
The dishwasher is done. Yay!
Guys, if you're a developer, that's a little nice gift, okay? You get a buzz that you put in the fridge, and then you press for coffee. And Olivia, based on your experience as well, what would you say for people if I have a friend that is going through this? What should I not say? What should we don't do? What should people avoid doing or trying to do
trying to
someone?
fix them. Trying to fix them, having the answers, because you don't have the answers. Just be supportive. Just, if they're having a bad day, sit with them. If they don't want to go for a walk, they don't want to go for a walk. I used to find sometimes that, get up out of that bed and you're no more interested in getting up out of that bed, even though I knew it was the best thing for me. Just kind of be supportive in the best way that you can. That's what I would say to everybody. Be supportive. And to anyone that is going through breast cancer, I used to find mindfulness really helped me. I used to go for walks all the time with my husband. Killiney Hill, that's where we live, so it was kind of up on top of the hill was my sanity, find something that you like to do. I think I watched Friends back to back the whole year just to laugh at
and that's
something. Okay. Chandler
was
literally my go-to for that year. So yeah, I always say, try and find something just to focus on, get your mind out of treatment. It's very difficult. I know how hard that is, and I'm going through it. As I said, I'm talking to some lady at the moment, and it is very difficult. And I keep saying to her, mindfulness. Go get the mindfulness app. Download. There's amazing mindfulness apps. Excuse me.
Yeah. I went to a different treatment, and I did not cancer treatment, but a difficult one for me. That I found an app with the mindfulness, and I thought it was brilliant. It did, because your mind races all the time, especially at night. It's so.
Of course. Did I turn off the dishwasher? Is that light still on? Am I meeting her tomorrow?
Exactly.
I know. My brain
and people
is
say,
the same.
"Oh, stop thinking about it. You relax. Try to forget." No, you cannot forget. So it's not nice to have those apps and to kind of help you go through.
Absolutely. Just to stop the mind from racing.
Yeah.
It is very difficult. I know it's really, really hard.
In any other nationality, let's say that Ireland became their home, it can be difficult as well financially, I suppose. So I would suggest these people to talk to maybe the social workers at the hospital.
Yes.
Yeah, because they can assist with any support, any welfare that is out there for this sort of situation. Because they have information at the desk in oncology. They have lots of different flyers there, so they can direct. Anyone. If anyone needs help at all, I know they have lots of information. And again, the GP will always help with that as well. Yeah. So do seek the information, share your concerns, because they won't guess.
No, of course not. Yeah.
And then it's your responsibility to let them know.
Find your voice, as I said. Yeah, speak up, ladies.
Yeah, and if you can't, maybe be a friend that for someone. If you know that your friend it's low, or your friend can't find their voice.
Yeah, of course.
Maybe. Ask for help, ask for consent.
Yes, definitely.
If the person allows you to be their voice, so be their voice and try to assist. Look for the social workers in the hospital, on oncology hospital. They will get the information, because I would think that this is a huge piece as well, because I am assuming while you go through the treatment, there are some days that you won't be available, unfit for work.
Of course. Yeah, of course. I was very fortunate that I wasn't working. So, I know there's lots of people.
You wasn't working in a company. You were working with the three kids.
I was very much working at home. I was. Gavin, I swear.
With 3 kids, you were definitely.
I definitely was. Oh, my God. But, I do understand that it's a letter from the GP as well for the job as well, to say, that obviously that's the norm, that someone's going through treatment or they're ill or whatever. And they might get some understanding there. Not all the time, I'm told, but sometimes. Yeah.
And then for the breast cancer, is there anything that you think, for something I do or something I don't do, that would develop, that will have my breast to have a cancer? Or, for sometimes, let's say people say, if you eat a lot of industrial food, that could lead you to have that will be more likely to have cancer. But do you think there is such a thing?
Well, there's lots of stories going around saying, don't, like I used to get asked, does the pill give you cancer? No.
There is
things.
this myth.
There's lots of different things. No, I'm not an expert either, but at the same time, I would always say to women and men, have a good diet, exercise, the basics, the stuff like that. Don't overdrink, don't smoke, just have a good lifestyle. That's what I would always say to women. I mean, I was running. I used to run all the time. And I was after doing a charity run. And on that day, after I finished my 10K, my husband found my lump after he gave me a hug. And I thought I was fit and healthy. So I think cancer doesn't care, in my opinion, your age or your gender. I think at the end of the day, as I always try and drive home to when I was working as an outreach coordinator, I used to say to TY students, because I get asked it a lot, just have a good, healthy diet, exercise. You can't go wrong with that. Do you know?
Yeah.
And if anything does ever arise in your body, well, at least you're fit enough to fight it. Do you know, that kind of way? That would really be something that I would always say to people,
Yeah. And when you go to these visits that you used to do,
yes,
what would people biggest concern, especially like young women? What would they be their biggest concern?
I used to get asked a lot, like, how old is the youngest that could get breast cancer? Do you know? So yeah, I mean, that would be their biggest concern. Can I get cancer? But I'm not, like I keep saying to people, I'm not a doctor. Do you know? Yeah. But it's really important, guys, that you have good breast health. Know your 8 signs and symptoms. download our Breast Aware app as you're getting older, because our bodies are changing all the time. And exercise, you know, and have a good diet, good healthy diet. Yeah. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I cannot reiterate that enough.
Yeah, and then it's really important that people are aware, because as you said, because you weren't, it's you nearly missed something that changed your life.
Absolutely. Like I keep saying that, Luz. I know people think I'm nuts. I'm here because of my sister.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely sitting in front of you because of my sister making a phone call.
Yeah,
because I wasn't breast aware.
So like, claps to your sister.
Yeah. She'd be delighted with that. Well done, Serena.
Yeah, well done. Well done. Yeah. I'm really glad you were here with us to talk through your experience and to give people a bit more awareness.
Absolutely.
Of this topic that seems it seems to be a bit taboo still. I know it's not a pleasant thing that people don't want to talk to,
of course,
but it's something we have to.
Yes,
we do have to talk.
Absolutely.
So
you can get yourselves to the gym, guys. You can do your breast health.
Exactly. So thank you very much, Olivia. Thank you for being here with us, and thank you everybody to be listening. I'm sure what Olivia just told us, it really gave us a lot of knowledge, and it will surely make you go through the website and download the app and do your self-check. It's really important. So thank you so much. And if you like this video, please hit the like there. So thumbs up so more people will have access to this video. And I'll see you in another episode of Mulheres. See you.